Hey, this is the Because Fiction Podcast, where we chat about all things Christian fiction. I'm your host, author, and insatiable reader, Shatona Havoc. And guys, I am excited. I have been waiting to do this. This is so exciting. I'm here with Laura Ashwood. She is one of the gals that goes to this writing retreat I go to, and I just love when I get there and we get to chat. And now I get to chat with her even before. I mean, in a couple weeks, I'm going to see her, but I get to chat here, and we get to talk about this new book, which sounds amazing. And oh, by the way, if you have author copies that you have bought, I need to buy one from you when we get there. I'm just saying. Anyway, if not, I'll order from Amazon and, be an Amazonian. But if I can get it personally, that'd be nice. So welcome, Laura.
Hi, I think I can probably hook you up there.
Awesome. All righty. So, okay. This one, A Life Rewritten. Rewritten, I can speak it. A Life Rewritten. I did it again! A Life Rewritten.
A Life Rewritten.
Thank you! Oh my goodness. That's funny. Anyway, oh man, what can I say? I speaketh rewritten. I gotta keep the W away from my lips, but they want to pronounce it so bad.
I want to capitalize the W every time I spell it, so I get it.
I love it so much. By the way, gorgeous cover. If you had told me I did basically an all pink cover, I would have been, oh, well, that's nice. But guys, you gotta hit pause and go see this cover. It is beautiful. I love it so much. Anyway,
I really like the cover too. I was very pleased with it.
Yeah, it's stunning. Okay, so my brain pictures you with historical and sometimes cowboy, and I don't even know if I'm right about that.
I have done historical. I have not done cowboy per se. I think the historical westerns, I guess there's some cowboy in that one. One of the historical westerns.
Maybe that's my brain is just like all mashing it together, but
maybe.
And this is like a total deviation in my mind from you, but is it actually?
It is not. I actually really like writing women's fiction.
See, women's fiction is like my jam. I mean, even if sometimes it's romantic women's fiction, sometimes it's just straight up women's fiction, sometimes it's octogenarian women's fiction. I don't care. I like women's fiction, and it just like. And so now I feel like, what have I been thinking all this time?
I start questioning all your choices.
Right? I'm like, oh my goodness, I need to go like dive into a backstory here. We got all the backlist and, find all the stories. That's why I did that. Okay. My brain was just condensing. Okay. At least it makes sense in my brain. It just doesn't make sense once I start speaking, which is pretty much Shatona. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so A Life Rewritten. What is A Life Rewritten? What are we going to see?
So it's about a woman named Abby Whitney who lives this very posh life in New York and has a very cultured, fine lifestyle. And with a phone call that brings her to her husband's bicoastal job, he was in a car accident. She ends up flying out to Los Angeles because he's been very severely injured in a car accident, and he actually dies from his injuries. But there she finds out that he'd been leading a double life and had another woman, and they actually had a child, and she didn't know about it, and she was named guardian of the child. And so she's got to navigate what to do, as well as finding out, everything that she trusted basically is falling apart. And so she's unexpectedly thrust into motherhood, but along the way, discovers healing, community, and hope in places that she never anticipated.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so where is this child's mother?
She was killed in the car accident too.
Oh my. Oh boy. So, okay. If it's not too big a spoiler, and my brain is doing all the things. If it's not too big a spoiler, was she named guardian before this? Was this like part of a will she didn't know about?
Yes.
Or did he have to do this?
No, it was part of a will she didn't know about.
Oh boy, can you imagine? I would be so angry.
Yeah.
And yet I'd be relieved for the kid. At least this kid's not going into foster care. This is good. This is great. But why, obviously you're angry because of the betrayal. Don't get me wrong. But I'd be like, you made this decision for me without I mean, oh my goodness, all the
Well,
things,
yeah, she didn't know he had a child, let alone the other
right?
woman, right? And then her attorney is telling her she doesn't have to accept the guardianship, and her mother is telling her absolutely not. What are people going to think? And she's done some volunteer work with the Children's Aid Society in New York, and has seen, some of the things that these foster kids have to endure. And she's looking at this 8-year-old little girl going, none of this is your fault.
Right.
And so I think she reluctantly agrees to temporarily guardian her while they search for other family members from her mother's side.
Yeah. Yeah. And that makes sense, And that's a hard thing, guys. All of the foster and adoption and paternity and maternity and all those laws are really hard to navigate because they are so different for every stinking state.
Yeah.
So just saying, oh my goodness, and he was killed. They were killed out of state. So is it mother and daughter living in LA, or were they just in LA together, husband and wife?
So his job was based in New York, but they had a satellite office in Los Angeles. And so his job was bi-coastal. He split his time between the two. And the other woman and the daughter were living in Los Angeles.
So that would be California law that you'd have to go by. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And yet but oh wow.
Yeah.
all the things, the research, guys. Can I just say
he had told her that he didn't ever want kids. And yeah, so I mean there's a lot of emotion there on her end because she's trying to wrap her head around the fact that he's gone, but then to find out that he had this other wife essentially and a daughter that is now 8 years old, and he had told her the whole time that he didn't want kids, and there's just a lot of emotions wrapped in that.
So how long were he and she married?
They were married for 15 years.
Well, that's what my brain said. Okay, this is really funny. My brain was like, but weren't they married like 15 years? But I can't find it in the synopsis. So where did I come up with that?
I don't know.
That is so weird. Anyway.
ESP.
Yeah, that. Let's go with that because at least that's more interesting than Shatona just gets these wild hairs and once in a while the wild hair jumps into the wrong hole. I don't know. It's crazy. But because that's like, if he had this woman and child on the side and then they got married, then were they ever married? Because then would he be married to her? But maybe he wouldn't be married to her. He just has this little family on the side. And then, but if she and he were married first, that would be even a double kick.
Right.
I mean, I could understand him going, wait a minute, I've got a woman and a child in Los Angeles. I cannot have two separate families on opposite coast. That just can't be done. So no children for us. If Abby was, second, but if she's first, that would be like a double punch.
Right. Abby was first. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh boy.
So yeah, it's a lot of emotion on Abby's end, and then there's a lot of emotion on the little girl's end too. She just lost both of her parents, and she's getting stuck with this. Well, and to make it even worse, he had told the mother of his child and the child that Abby was his sister. So she thinks it's her aunt, but she doesn't know her.
Oh my. Ouch. Just all.
The setup was kind of interesting to try to navigate, how, because you're trying to think of what would be interesting and what would cause a lot of hardship, but you also want to make it, well, how would he explain who this person is? He put Abby in the will because he never thought he'd ever have to use it, right? But he also knew that he had this daughter. He loved his daughter. And he wanted to make sure that she was taken care of. He knew that Abby would be a good mother, even though he didn't want to bring children into their marriage.
Yeah, well, once you've already fathered a child.
Right. But it's, how would he explain who she is without saying who she is, right?
Right.
And so that seemed to be the easiest way to do it, I guess.
Oh, man, it would be what I like what I'm hearing here is that you made him a good father. You made him someone who loves his daughter, who is invested in her life, and I love that you did that because we want to hate this guy.
Yeah.
I am so mad at him, and he's not even real. People, it's so great that it's okay to hate non real people. Fictional people are lovely because you can get all that angst out. But anyway,
I think that's
he
part of the reason that Abby took in Cami is because, well, A, it wasn't Cami didn't have anything to do with what happened, but B, she recognized that that was the best part of Michael.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, so okay, obviously trying to figure out how this is going to work was tough. But outside of that, what was the most difficult part of writing this? Cuz this seems like this would be an emotional roller coaster.
Well, getting the emotions right was really difficult because a lot of times, as an author, when you try to write an emotional scene, you try to draw on stuff that you've experienced in a similar way, maybe, so you can kind of pull on those emotions. And thankfully, I've never had this situation happen.
Right?
Pretty sure I won't, but trying to get those emotions authentic. I think this. So the whole first, little bit of the book was where she's finding out that he's dead, and then she finds out that he's got a daughter, and then she finds out that she's the aunt that inherits the daughter, even though she's not the aunt. That was a little bit tricky to get those emotions, and then also trying to authentically write an 8-year old's kind of emotional outbursts that one would assume that an 8-year old would have after
Right.
her parents both died, and she gets thrust into this stranger's life while she's trying to recover from losing both of her parents. So getting the
Oh,
emotions stuff was probably the hardest part.
I can imagine. Wow. Ouch.
Hopefully
That's
hopefully I did a good job on it. I know I tried very, very hard to get those right.
Well, the good thing is everybody is so very, very different.
Right.
Every child is so different. How I would have reacted is night and day compared to how my oldest daughter would have reacted, and we're a lot alike. But we had different upbringings, and we have different whatevers. And then I have 7 daughters. I'm trying to picture each one of them in this situation, and let me tell you something. Each one of them would have behaved in a totally opposite way to the one next to them.
Right.
They're all so very so. I mean, that is both the good and the bad of it.
Yeah.
Choosing the right one for this kid, I mean, it is just ah, so hard. You've got the fact that she doesn't have siblings changes it. Sometimes that firstborn daughter with younger siblings will take on a mother role and stifle down all the stuff. And you would think the kid didn't care that mom's gone, but she can't care because right now she's got to keep these siblings, from falling apart. And she may be 8, but it doesn't matter. She's going 8 going on 80 right now because,
Right.
so it all changes based
Right.
upon all of those dynamics and choosing. Oh my gravy, choosing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So now, according to the synopsis, it says she's going to the quiet shores of Bluefin Bay, North Carolina.
Right.
But I see that you have a book that is called Summer at Bluefin Bay.
So Summer at Bluefin Bay was the original version of this book.
Ah,
It is not for sale anymore. What happened is I had written that book and self-published it, and then thought that I really had always wanted that book to be a traditionally published book, but I had, based on some, you know, advice from some other author friends that I have, I ended up self-publishing it. And then I approached Harpeth Road Press with the story, and they were interested, and so we unpublished Summer at Bluefin Bay, and we added, oh my gosh, I think we added 20,000, 25,000 words to it, and
oh
changed
wow.
changed a lot of things. I mean, the essential story is similar. It's, the base story is the same, but we've added a lot of things, changed. Cami's completely different age, but it is a rewrite of that book.
Ooh, that's cool because when I run across a book that I've read and then I discover that it's had a rewrite and, especially stuff added and stuff, I have to know what's different.
Yeah. Well, and I
So
actually
I
had
mean,
sent it to a couple of people that really had liked Summer Bluefin Bay to kind of do a advanced reading for me, and they all were really really happy with the rewrite. So I felt good about that too.
yeah. Oh, I love it. Well, and I love the fact that you said, you know what, this is what I wanted for this book to begin with. And I think I need to I need to go back and trust my instincts on that and go with how I originally wanted it. I
Yeah,
love that.
thanks.
Ah, that is so smart.
It was a hard decision to make because I knew that there would be some people that would be off put by the rewrite because that can really go both ways. But the
Yeah.
reviews have been really good, and everybody that has actually taken the time to email me or call me about the differences have really liked the newer version better. So I'm kind of feeling my gut played out on me that in a good way
Yeah.
this time.
So now I got to know though. You've got this gal and this child. Do you think you'll ever do anything with them again, or
I
do you
I
think
do
you
have a second book planned.
not that I'm not excited or anything. I We fall in love with these characters, guys. You know it's true. We don't want to say goodbye. So when an author tells me, "Well, we're going to get more," I'm like, "Score."
Well, the thing is I had not, when I originally wrote the book, did not have a second book planned, and I got a lot of emails asking for more, and then I kind of had been going back and forth, like I said, about wanting to have it traditionally published in the first place. And the characters, some of that is just the characters not leaving me alone, and the other part is I've gotten so many emails asking for more of the story. And the book ended with a little bit of a love interest potential, and the main character is just pretty much really kind of knocking my door down wanting me to pursue that. So I don't really think I have much of a choice but to write another one, right?
Right? I love it. Well, because seriously, that is the most those are the best books when we have characters that are saying, "Hello, you're not done with me," or "Hello, I've been waiting, you keep pushing all these other people in front of me, write my story."
Right.
And those always turn out to be the best.
Well, hopefully that'll be the case. I know that I'll be working. So I'm working on a different book right now, but if I have dreams about stories, they're almost always about this book or the book that will come next.
Oh boy, oh boy. So do we have any idea, are we looking at a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years?
I plan to write it this year, and then it depends on if I can sell it or not, when the publishing timeline would be.
Yeah. Well, we will see how this comes, guys. Everybody needs to be, battering the publisher for more. This is my new thing. I want more. I just start emailing publishers going, "Hey, have you considered? Are you going to do it? We want more. Can I have more?" And I'm like, I'm going to be that widow in the Bible. I'm just going to keep going and going and going until the great judges, I mean editors say, "Okay, fine. Fine, here." That's my new plan.
I like that plan.
It's so great. It's so great. So okay, for readers who have read your books or maybe who haven't read your books and they're like, "Okay, well, I love this. Which other ones do I go to next?" What would you send them to next?
If they are interested at all in historical romance, A Groom for Ruby is probably the book that is, I would say, the book of my heart. And I know that there are a lot of people that, are like, I don't really read historicals, but I honestly think that, with the exception of the fact that there aren't, modern appliances and modern conveniences, the stories are very much the same. You might have a little bit of different
Right.
language, a little bit more, less, probably less slang, and obviously no texting and stuff. But the base stories are so similar. My style is emotional, strong heroines, and that's definitely in that book too. But otherwise, if you're looking at straight contemporary, I really like Royally Unexpected. It's a it's the prince that'll never be king, and how he's struggling with that and finding his path, and maybe not having such a great reputation. I know that kind of sounds a little bit familiar, to a prince that we may know that is, not really in England anymore, but um,
Well, can we just look at the cover, guys, with a little in case you had any doubt. There's this like cute little corgi
yeah.
on there. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, go
But
ahead. Anyways,
yeah, and the corgi's name is Gatsby. He totally steals the book, but it's a really cute story, I think, and it's a little bit different than your traditional, you know, royal kind of story. I'm not really big on celebrity and royal books myself, but this was another situation where it just wouldn't leave me alone, and the dog was so much fun to
yeah,
write. And the heroine,
isn't
the
that the best?
heroine is definitely not somebody that you would normally see somebody like a prince go after. I would think, and she's completely filterless, which makes for some fun scenes with the queen. So
Okay, it's not my usual jam either, but you just sold me. That's it. I'm reading it. And I'm gonna throw out there, guys. Right? Okay, you've got on the Amazon page. It's showing me all of Laura's books, and you've got Royally Unexpected, and you have A Life Rewritten, and right next to those two, there is this one. The cover is stunning, and it says "Courting Danger." It's a romantic mystery,
yep.
historical. Sold.
That one is actually it's loosely based or inspired by an actual Pinkerton detectives case. When the Pinkerton Detective Agency opened up their doors for women detectives, one of the first, I think the first female Pinkerton agent was Kate Warren. And
Yes.
I took the mystery or, case that is in Courting Danger very much off of one of her actual cases. I mean, it's not quite
I love
exactly
it.
the same, obviously, but definitely inspired by that, just to keep the authenticity of the time and the Pinkerton Detective Agency. But that one was kind of a lot of fun too, and it really taught me a lot about character development when I was writing, because I got about 2/3 of the way through that book and completely just absolutely couldn't write anymore. I'm like, I don't understand. I have an outline. What's going on? And it just wouldn't work. And so I'm like, well, maybe I need to look at the character again a little bit, and spent a little bit more time working on my main female character in that book, and realized that what I was trying to make her do is something she absolutely was not wanting to do, and that was what the problem was. And as soon as I figured that out, the whole rest of the book came, but it completely deviated off of my outline, and she led the story the rest of the way, and that was really kind of fun.
That is fun. I love it. And it's fun little fact. I have a friend who she is descended from the
Oh, that's
Pinkertons.
awesome.
Her maiden name was Pinkerton. And so that just like when that was the only reason that I even put the Pinkertons in my Madeline series was just for her. I was like, we have to have them
That
show
is
up
cool.
somehow. And so I had to find ways because, a lot of people don't realize, but like originally the Pinkertons, yes, they were a detective agency, whatever, but mostly they provided
Right.
security for payroll
Yep.
on trains.
Yep.
So I mean, it was pretty. It's like pretty cool stuff going on there with them. So I just have, and it's really, I'm feeling so silly. You can laugh at me. I'm feeling so silly because now I have 4 books along the top row of your, Laura Ashwood books on Amazon, right? And so now I'm like, I have to like read this entire row so I can start with Royally, and I can have that read before I get to see you next month, and then I'll get my life rewritten for me. Let me know how much I need to bring, and then I get Courting Danger, and then there's another one right after that is a little something sweet. I feel like I got to read it so I can like read that whole first line,
Well, I certainly won't tell you that you shouldn't do that.
right?
A little something
It's
sweet's
gonna be
fun. It's
awesome.
small town, set in a small town in Montana, and it's a return to hometown, and her ex is now a single dad, and their mothers actually conspire to get the two of them back together by having his mom hire him to do the renovations on the bakery that her mom just gave her. And because it's already paid for and stuff, she ends up having to do that.
Yeah.
But his little boy's name is Spencer, and I had so much fun writing Spencer. Spencer thinks his dad should have
They're the best.
Spencer thinks his dad should have a girlfriend because he has a girlfriend. He's 6, and he insists on giving his dad dating advice. It's so fun. He's such a fun little kid. I had so much fun with that.
Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, little boys, 6, 7, 8, they are so hilarious. Okay, when you get into 8, I start having troubles. 8-year-olds are my least favorite age for children. Give me a 2-year-old any day. I just, an 8-year-old, know it all, little. They just, I got problems with them, but they're just in books. They're so adorable and they're so much fun. I have little Benny from Red Wing, and that kid was just hilarious to write, and he just he broke my heart and made me laugh at the
Yeah.
same time. And so now I have to dating advice
Yep.
from a 6-year-old. I definitely. Okay, well, looks like I've got my reading cut out for me. And guys, they're all available on Kindle Unlimited. I'm just saying. We have
All of them
lots and lots
except
and lots of
for A
stuff.
Life Rewritten are available in audio as well.
Awesome. That's even better because audio.
Right.
I'm fine.
I love audiobooks.
Gloriously fine. They're so much fun. Anyway, well, they're great because like I go for a walk at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and it's just me and the desert wind, and so I've got my audiobook going as I'm trucking up and down the street, and it's great. I tend to listen to mysteries because there's just something really cool about
Yep.
listening to mystery or suspense in the dark, where there's nobody out and the winds are whistling and you're like, is that a
And
coyote? I mean, it's just fun.
it sounds like a safe plan there, walking by yourself, listening to murder mysteries.
Right? And I don't even have, I mean, because I want to make sure I'm not taken unaware. I mean, my phone is going with the volume up and I don't have headphones. I'm walking because I want to be able to
Right.
hear if someone walks up behind me. It's rare, but it has happened. I don't want to startle. I want to be aware that someone is coming on the off chance. I mean, if someone's going to stab me in the back in the middle of the night, I want to
Right.
know what's coming. I'm just kidding.
Oh my, this took a turn. No, but I
And now I
listen
feel a book
to
coming on.
mysteries on audio too. I do that when I'm making supper and cleaning the house, and if I have to drive someplace, I'm almost always listening to an audiobook, and I generally go to mystery kind of books when I listen to audiobooks too.
I have found that if I listen to a mystery, it's slightly harder for me or it takes longer anyway for me to figure out who it is because my eyes don't see the
That
patterns. My eyes see the writing
that
patterns.
is exactly it. You
And
nailed it. Yep.
yeah, it's so cool. It's so cool. I love it so much. Anyway, well, okay. When you write this next book and it is published, you have to come back and tell us about it. But you've got other stuff that you're working on. Readers waiting to know what's coming next after this.
Yeah, I am currently actually the first draft is due on over the weekend to Sunrise Publishing for their Jonathan Island series. So I have a book coming out. It'll come out next year. And then I'm also doing some research for another historical book. I haven't quite nailed down what I'm doing with that yet, but that'll be set someplace either in the late 1800s or the early 1900s. I'm still kind of working on that. And I've also got another women's fiction that I querying out agents for right now. So hopefully that'll pan out. So I never did take the
Yes.
advice of staying in a lane. I kind of like to write all
I'm
the
with you.
things.
I write what the story. I have a story, and the story says I'm a mystery, so I write the mystery. Or the story says I'm women's fiction, so I
Yeah.
write the women's fiction. And sometimes it says that I'm suspense, and I'm like, okay, I want to write the story, not
Yeah,
the
that's
genre.
exactly. I don't think I'll be doing, I don't see more suspense coming. That was a one-off, I think, but the other stuff is pretty fair game in my opinion. So
I
thanks.
love it. I love it so much. Well, when you do this, you have to come back and tell us all about it because we need to know all the things.
For
I'm just
sure.
saying. Absolutely. And, I don't let me forget to get my signed
absolutely
copy and I
I
will
will
bring
make
cash.
sure I bring that.
And all the good things. But where should readers go to find out more about you, about your books, about, when something else is coming, all that stuff?
Well, I would invite any reader to sign up for my newsletter. You can do that at my website, lauraashwood.com. The dog that is in A Life Rewritten, they find a dog on the beach that they adopt, and his name is Chance in the book. And Chance ends up having some health issues, and I modeled that dog after my dog Gus, and right down to the same exact health issues. But Gus has his own column in my newsletter that has been very popular with the readers of the newsletter. I'm also on social media at Laura Ashwood Books, Instagram, Facebook. I have a Facebook group. So
I love it. Okay, so is Gus the one that we've
yes.
met? Such a cutie, guys. He's just so cute. Yeah, see, I have a dog in my newsletter. Our dogs should get together and just spill the beans on these crazy authors.
And Gus already does a pretty good job of that, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's great. She's at it again. She's leaving me. I'm stealing her socks, but she's going. Why can't you just? Yeah, my dog. Yeah, I call him the sockness monster
hilarious.
because he steals my socks anytime. He steals them most of the time, but if I start leaving, he will start trying to take them. And then while I'm gone, he will pile socks on my side of the bed, like some sort of strange sock offering to the sock gods to bring me home. I'm like, we got to talk gospel
That
dog.
is hilarious.
He's such a nut job. So yeah, Gus, guys, he's just a cutie. I'm just saying, you got to get on your newsletter and find out what Gus is telling you. I didn't know this, but I will rectify this. But
he is fun. He's always got something interesting to say, that's for sure.
Yeah, gotta love it. Well, Laura, this has been fun. It's kind of like a little pre-visit before we get
I'm
to
looking forward to seeing
the
you
retreat.
too.
I am too. Yeah, it's gonna be great. Anyway, my brain just literally went blank. I have no brain. It's gone. I have no idea what I was about to say, but anyway, I'll just say thanks again, and I will see you soon. And meanwhile, guys, have a good day. Go read these good books. I mean, you want to start with I could speak it. A Life Rewritten. I was gonna do it again. Can you tell?
It happens. It happens.
I'm telling you, I don't know why I can't say that, but now I'm going to get my narrator to just read it aloud. Go to this link and read me the title of the book and see if she does it, because I'm dying to know. She does these blooper reels on.
Oh, you'll have to let me know.
Yeah, I've just got to know if she gets it right the first time or not. So it's going to be fun. Anyway, I will send you the audio, the little clip that she sends me, and you'll know if she got it right or not. But just so funny. Anyway, and yeah, guys, I'm going to chat with you guys next time.
Thank you.